part 1 of episode 70 of Kenya's premier sports video podcast, the 3 Quarters Podcast. As usual, we'd like to remind you to jump onto the hashtag Road to Japan to support the Kenya Simbas as they are still looking to qualify for the Rugby World Cup in 2019 in Japan. I'm Demi Duffield.
And I'm Ngaro Kamuya.
So Enterprise Cup final is the talk of today.
Yeah. Episode 70.
Yep, episode 70.
Yeah.
And 21-3. It was Homeboyz versus Impala. Homeboyz, I can't even say pipped Impala. Like, that was a well-deserved game for Homeboyz, I feel.
Yeah.
Despite, low scores throughout most of the first half, I think the second half definitely belonged to Homeboyz. Like, Impala systems just really weren't working. What was your take on the game?
I think right from the team sheet, Homeboyz did show intent of winning. Impala fielded a relatively weak team by Impala standards. In fact, I remember I was sat on the side where Impala fans were sat, and I remember somebody making the comment that this team is purely ESS, the guys who played the Eric Shirley Shield. So yes, the first thing, of course, I'd like to say is Homeboyz did show their intent from scratch by the team that they fielded. Their personnel was exceptional, but it was a game that was very cagey in the beginning. And more so, I think, to do with the playing conditions, i.e. it had rained the previous night and the pitch was not really in pristine condition. And as a result of that, then the game was a bit cagey. And like we always say, what makes rugby interesting in Kenya is the way we run the ball. So the teams were not able to do that, at least in the first half, and that resulted in a first half that ended 6-3. And then, I don't know what Paul Murunga, Benjamin Naimba told their boys at halftime. And I don't know what message M-Pesa Johnston Olinde received at halftime. Because after halftime, the game just became a Johnston Olinde show. He switched it on. He exposed Impala. He created holes in Impala's defense. His kicking was so deft, and it was always behind, turning the back three. And with a back three that is relatively experienced. I think about Quinton Ongo, think about Ian Minjire, I think about Sidindi, Richard Sidindi, who was the fullback. But Johnston Olinde he got his backs moving. He got Max Kanyari, Zidane Maro, and Leonard Mgaisi, all the guys moving. And I think his break in the first 5 minutes that resulted in a try at the corner is what spurred Homeboyz to come back. And Homeboyz, they dominated everything. They dominated the breakdowns. Scrums were evenly matched, which I must give props to Impala because it means that the scrummaging must be very good with a second string team to be dominating the scrum or to be matching up to Homeboyz' first team scrum. It's exceptional. So lineouts, Impala lineouts were bad. I remember as I was leaving, I don't know what I was leaving Queens to go to, and I bumped into Reina Omondi, and I was like, hey, what's wrong? And he told me he's injured, and I was like, these guys are missing you clearly because their lineouts were crap throughout the whole game. So Homeboyz, yes, like I've said, they showed the intent from scratch by the team that they fielded. They showed, first half was cagey match, as I've said, everyone was kind of pimanaing and seeing what was going to happen. But in the second half, they just switched it on and took it to another level. And it goes back to what we said last week. If the Homeboyz that showed up against KCB showed up during the final, then they definitely were going to beat Impala. And I can categorically state that the Homeboyz that showed up against KCB is the one that showed up. And you only hope that, because the truth is, and not to take anything away from Homeboyz win, but the truth is that most of these teams have fielded pretty second-string squads over the whole tournament, and Homeboyz have been able to get above it. You only hope that this squad now has understood crunch time, have understood how to deal with this stuff, so that when it comes to Kenya Cup season, they are able to translate this victory into Kenya Cup. But all in all, and I think it's something as guys keep on saying here, for a team that's run professionally, for a team that's I'm happy Homeboyz has won, because now they begin to show us that if you run an organization well, then you're definitely going to be getting the results. And this is just the beginning of, I think, a long list of honors that's going to happen for Homeboyz.
Yeah, and I believe this is a maiden 15s trophy. So it's good to see them there finally.
Yes.
I must commend the back three from Homeboyz though. Like what you mentioned was Johnston Olinde was getting basically he was making the back three for Impala look a little,
lackluster. Yes.
Yeah. But then anytime Impala would kick, like one, I feel the kicks weren't what we're used to. But then anytime they would kick, those balls would be swept up pretty well, pretty neatly,
Yes.
and Homeboyz would come straight back at them actually.
Bush Mwale. Yes. Bush Mwale made some very exciting runs. But it's true what you say. One, I think Impala's kicks were a bit wayward with Mark Kwemoye at number 10. I remember even sitting down with someone. I was like, look, his kicks are not, whether it's field kicking, whether it was just place kicking, just something wasn't right. Xavier Bet also, by his standards, did not have a good game yesterday. And it's also good to note, by the way, kicking for points, place kicking was very poor from Impala, because Impala did pass up a couple of chances from the tee. So yes, I do agree with you that the back three from Homeboyz were exceptional, i.e. Leonard Ngesi, Michael Wanjala and Bush Mwale, and even when Alvin Otieno, Bufa came in, he was able to carry off from where Leonard Ngesi had left.
Well, a well-deserved win for Homeboyz.
Yes.
I think they were definitely the better team on the day.
Yes, that's true.
Then we were supposed to have had Mwamba Cup just before that.
Yes.
Although that game wasn't played, and I hear there is a hearing, and there's an appeal by Homeboyz, and the game has been pushed to the 12th.
Yes.
So that will the hearing will determine who plays against KCB in that final.
Okay, yeah. So unfortunately, the fans were denied a cut and razor.
We want our money back.
Denied a cut and razor. Though there's something I must comment about the organization of the tournament. I forgot to mention about that. Yes, I do understand that Enterprise Cup has not been considered a really big cup over the years. But look, it's a final at the end of the day. You have to do something about it. You have to hype it. You have to, bring the fans. If this is knockout rugby, this is 15.
Actually, it was a pretty empty game.
It was a pretty empty game. It was
It didn't work for you.
It didn't work for me. They need to do something about the organization of the tournament.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Well, local rugby, with the exception of Mwamba Cup that has been pushed, we'll take a break, and then we only come back for the internationals, which we're definitely looking forward to. Yes, definitely.
Oh yeah, we are looking forward to the international season. Of course, what happens now is that we'll start previewing the Kenya Simbas because the trials have just ended as we speak. So Ian Snook and Murray Ralston should be coming up with what should be their final roster for the World Cup qualifiers.
Yep.
Yeah.
I wonder who guys think will make those teams.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been hearing a little complaining here and there.
Yes.
Guys saying this guy should be on the team.
That's true.
So guys, let us know.
Yeah.
Also remember, #Road to Japan. Support the Kenya Simbas. You can also follow us on Instagram, like our Facebook page, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. I'm Demi Madofio.
And I'm Ngaro Kamuya.
See you in part 2.